So it's Tuesday, and it's time for some cards, as it is Tuesday. That's the general thing that happens on a Tuesday. And so we're going to be doing another Bloomburrow draft. Slightly later start than usual, but not outside of the realm for it. How deep does this animal well go? Uh, fairly deep. Again, that's a game I've been playing over the last while now, a couple off and on over the last couple months, and there's a lot in that animal well. That's a fun one. Can recommend. This is a different sort of animal well. This animal well has fighting leaves. But yeah, been quite happy with this limited format. Turns out that it's got a fairly good aggro bent to it, but not an overwhelming one in most circumstances. I've had some fun times with like different styles of blue black and white black longer form control things, but also just like pushing red, pushing around like Jund, or seeing things like the rabbits just pushing down the lane. So yeah, here to do a draft today and see how it goes. Had a lot of fun with the bat deck. Yeah. Oh, did they fix it yet? Hold on. Nope. Someday we'll have to. It's slowly grinding up to having a standard deck again. Yeah, I have together like kind of like standard decks that I play just to sort of like play if I want to like throw down a couple games. And I've been looking at different lizard decks for constructed. That seemed pretty cool. Mono red with the Fling Adventure. Yeah, the Fling Adventure targets because of the way it's worded. It's like target creature deals its damage equal its power and then sacrifice it, which like makes Valiant bits a little better, especially off the Heartfire mouse. Anyway, let's get things rolling. What am I feeling today? Oh, is that the one that like auto equips? Ooh, well. Okay, so the powerful things in here, Mabel is obviously like a really good card. Mabel comes with a pretty cool equipment. There's a lot of good white in here to go with Mabel. Thoughtstalker Warlock is also really good. Even if you don't have the drop off, the damage on this, it's still like a 2/2 menace with a discard that comes down off it. Mentor is also cool. Cash Grab is one of the better support tools for. Wow, blue is only Mind Whisker, but Mind Whisker is way better than like like this card's sweet. I always feel a little reticent to 2-color in a first pick, but this is something that I can pick up and I would feel good even splashing. So we can pick this up, and then if we end up like off sides, as it were, with that, we can feel fine. We've got the Mouse Trapper. We've got the Head of the Homestead. The 4s are not the sort of stuff I really want with Mabel. Mouse Trapper and Head of the Homestead stand out to me in this pack. Bushy Bodyguard would be our cash grab line. Uh, Even so, it's pretty good. The blue in here's also got some power, the Splash Lash, and Splash Portal. Splash Lash is nice. Um, yeah, these are a little... That's fine, let's get the tiny bolas. Okay, Feather of Flight is a way of targeting that also gets us some evasion. That's really nice. Valley Rally is like win target combat, as well as being very aggressive. We can use it, to hand off first strike to whatever's in the blocked zone, and then push from there. Carrot Cake I like a lot for being a board in a box that also keeps you rolling on your draws with that scry. I think I like Valley a little bit more than I like... Flight's really good, especially with the tapping, but like as a trick, Valley Rally plays really nicely. We want to get lower on the curve here. Strike Force is fine. I don't like Hoarder's Overflow. I think this is a little too expensive for what, like, for time. It takes a long time for this to pay off. Trunk Blade Bruiser's okay. Strike Force holds some of these pumps nicely. Alright, Warren Guard is pretty cool. How many copies of Might of the Meek do I want? Also, actually, maybe I think Sonar Strike is our better removal tool. This card is way better than just like, oh look, it's +0 or +1. But the draw card on this makes it really good. Moonrise Cleric is something I feel good about, but like Sonar Strike is a piece of interaction that's really strong at the low end. Okay, this is a pretty good 2. Something I can feel happy about. The ramp on it, the first strike on it means that it eats some of our equipment or rally things a little easier. More copies of Might of the Meek hanging around. Baker's Bane Duo, very powerful card. Free food, early drops. The early drops are pretty important, and this is one that can grow a little bit. I like Brazen Collector for being... So, with Mabel, by the way, I'm not thinking of Mabel for that first line as much as I am for the weapon. Obviously, pumping mice is really cool, but we want to make sure that we have, like, I care more about the secondary. I'm not gonna go. We're gonna be picking mice likely because they play well with this, but we're not gonna be picking mice to be picking mice, if that makes sense. Rapid response. Retry. Pick up the rabbit to try to get our color a little better picked off. We're kind of seeing, as it's late, we're not even at the wheel yet. Nettle Guard is a fine wheel, though. Cash grab on it, too. I like War Squeak. I think this card's nice. Scales of Shale is a very good piece. Okay. I feel like our current, I feel good about things like Sonar Strike, about Valley Rally, about Strike Force Trapper. I feel like we need a better creature base down here, and I would like to have a little bit more stuff like the Sonar Strike that's a little interactive. I'm not super interested in that. I am willing to, if something really nice comes up that would have me pivot, I'd be willing to do a little bit more of that. Don't hate you. Okay, we got another Brazen Collector. Take out the trash. Slinger's fine. That's a fine card. Warren, Elder, Thistledown players, full of bees. Like, take out the trash. This is good, solid removal that can go above its rate. 2 in. Sometimes you get 3 or 4 out if you can knock out something like, some of the 4s like these. But that's nice to have. Brazen Collector. Feel like if we want a higher curve, that's a good card for us too. Yeah. Hello? Beza, and Gev. Damn, I really wanted to play with Gev too. Beza. What? This is what a pack looks like. This is what a pack after a pass looks. Yeah, the change in collation sometimes gets me. That's wild. I really wanted to play with Gev. I think Gev's really cool. But like, I'm not gonna pass up on something like Beza. Beza here can really, has basically if we're behind in any way, Beza drops us back up and is a 4/5 on the base. I'm fine with. Now, Glarb is 3 color, and it's the 3 we're not playing, so we're not going to be playing Glarb. But I do want to note that Glarb is like well worth the splash. Glarb is a card that is extremely like this lets you play lands off the top and 4 drops off the top, and it costs 3 mana, and it has Death Touch, and it can surveil. It's the whole package in one card. I like Brambleguard Captain. There's also a lot of good 2s in here. Glarbing up the Beanstalk, and a bunch of self-melt. Oh, that's cute. I go with the Captain, and we're going to try and fix up the curve going down here. Might of the Meek, I think I like more than Feather of Flight, though Feather of Flight is like a Might of the Meek. Actually, they're Handing off Flying and Trample are similar things, but Flying does a lot. Seeing the green coming around here. Tree Duo, Star Charter, Fireglass Mentor, Moonrise Cleric. You might go with this Roughshod Duo. This one plays nicely, and we have ended up a little bit higher up than expected. Star Charter wants us to have some life gain sources, and I don't really see us with a lot of that. We only have like Sonar Strike, and like if we picked up this Cleric, things like that. I'm most worried about just getting things to play on the early. By the way, Barter. The bow is also real as hell here. This is a really good Valiant trigger. This kind of fixes up a lot of our like interactive suite. Yeah, I'm most worried about our aggressive line not being aggressive enough at the Mo. This is a cool card, but it's very fiddly. You need to lose life and gain life to be able to get this whole thing out of it, and that's a lot. Conduct Electricity is a little too high. I'll go ahead and pick up the Heirloom Epic. We might play that. Rockface Village. We get some Pathmaker. I don't hate Pathmaker. We'll hide this in our lands. This hands off haste to red creature types. Mouse being in there, which is one of our mains, though we've not ended up with much as far as mice go. We haven't ended up with like a nice creature base. This is... I'm worried. I'm worried we just don't have like... We have like... We need more things on 2 and 3 that are just sort of creatures that come in and just like looking at our 2s, we have Nettleguard, Brazen Collector, 3-tree. These duos are fine. Okay, High War Squeak. Dark Star, that's the Bob. Blacksmith talent. Blacksmith talent. Like that. That gives us double strike. And especially with like Mabel around as a second piece, I feel better about. That could be nice. Yeah. Alright. Manifold Mouse, how you doing? This is a huge bit for the curve on here, giving us something early to play that we can hand off, like the a sword to, hand off a lot of different things. Another Smith talent. I'd love to have the Stoat. I'd love to have Carrot Cake. I'd love to have Sonar Strike. I'd love to have Meek. Uh, Basically, this pack has 6 cards plus that I'd love to have. I'd even take these two. So hopefully we get something back. It's a lot harder to get things back in this era. I am going to pick up... I know Repel Calamity exists here, but I'm going to go ahead and give us just some bodies to get things going. Rallier works really nicely with Valiant triggers, but we don't really have too many of those, and I don't think we have problems getting them off. I still think I'm okay on that. Hello? Damn. I guess this is where our color combination's paying off, because this pack not only has that, it has Bravekin Duo, Intrepid Rabbit, Playful Shub, Jolly Gerbils. This card's a little big, and it's very high for that payoff. On come in or attack, it exiles cards equal to our 4 power creatures, itself included, and then shocks for each that we haven't played out of them. Having Brazen Collector means it's easier to get up to that, and just having that as a late game player is going to be fine. Any Cruel Claws, Heist, Repel Calamity. I think I'm going to take this Steam Path Charger so that I have some bodies down at the low end. Just anything. I know there's Agate here as well, but I feel like our bodies are our current issue. Like, it says 16, but I feel like a lot of those aren't ones I'm super into. And the thing with Steam Path is that it gives us, okay, here we can get another Banishing Light, but I actually like to get us a Stoat. This is a card that plays well with our couple pieces of equipment and things like Roughshod Duo, things like Brambleguard Captain, Rabid Response, all sorts of pumps that work well with this body, keeping us on the offensive. I like that. Obviously, Weasel as a creature type isn't playing into like the creature type setup stuff, but plays, you know, even there's a lot that plays well with that. Take out the trash, looking nice to come around this late, especially after having passed up like a Banishing Light and a couple other pieces of interaction. This is the kind of interaction I'm super about. We don't have a ton of raccoons hanging around, but we have enough, and 3 damage is a good line for creatures to be killed. Veteran Mouse Guard. Oh, hold on. Firefoot Swordmaster is a number of bodies that also is a nice Valiant bit. We don't have a ton of mice, but it is self-pumping as well, and we have enough things that I'm pretty happy with. I kind of want this down on the low end rather than the Veteran Mouse Guard. Head of the Homestead and Sonar Strike, both making it back around. I actually feel like I would rather have the Head of the Homestead because of our Rabid Response and our Valley Rally. This is the pack that should have had a lot for us, and we skip Sonar back if we want that. Seed Pod Squire looking pretty nice here. Might of the Meek looking pretty nice here. Sonar Strike. These are all fine cards. I'm going to grab a Might. I don't think we have one. Repel Calamity is definitely a playable removal spell. And Bravekin Duo. That's a good thing to round out the deck with, is a 1-drop that I'm pretty happy with. Okay. Alright. I feel like we've got the pieces here. Our commitment in Pack 1 paid off in 3 because the people on our side there weren't going to be playing in those colors, so that paid off well. Let's get this stuff in here. I think we're playing Sonar Strike, Blacksmith Talent, Collector, Manifold. Take out the Trash Bowl, Roughshod, Valley Rally. Captain, Tragan, you head of the homestead. And we can probably fit one more in on this slow curve. That might just be Might of the Meek as number, Repel Calamity kills a lot. I'll put in the War Squeak instead. That's also probably fine. War Squeak is quite good. I've been very impressed with this card, but we do have a couple other ways of handing off haste, both between Mabel's equipment, the land we control, and the Rallier. 16. Looking a lot better. We are probably fine cutting out like a mountain and then having 8 and 8. I'm worried this is little too. We have the Valley Rally, and like that's a nice thing to have access to. The other thing I'd play out that would be like just like Fountain Bell or something to kind of fix up the deck. Fountain Bell Plays is a really nice one. 8 and 8 seems right with our 12, 13. We have double red, and that's it. Oh no, we have double blue and double white and Beza, and double white in that. Feel fine now. That's that. This is probably fine. Yeah. Alright. Alright, Mabel. Let's give it a whirl. This is a lot with this set. I've had the experience with this set I've had is that like you kind of find yourself in a you know, in a 2-color setup, and it takes a little bit of faith for things to be rewarded in the back. It's fine, I think. I know we're off white. I actually might want to include the, now that I'm thinking about it, the bell might be worthwhile. Bark Knuckle, sure. So they can't give that indestructible. That is the +1/+1 to green creature types bit. And that lets them get in with the Bark Knuckle for very big damage. Yeah, the Bell was the last card I was thinking that might be better off than the one. Okay, our opponent's got a pretty aggressive line here. They're just going to be fighting down. Ooh, that's not great. I think we're just going to go ahead and take out the trash on this. Let's get their aggressive lines off the table. Hopefully we can fix things up with white showing up soon. Okay, this is a lot better for us with like just the Crier. Double Strike and Haste. Even if we don't find things to do, this gives us an outlet for a mana for a couple turns. Which is, I guess, what's going to happen for a while. I'm gonna be paying for this, aren't I? That's okay. Ooh, okay. Tree Guard getting in for 3 with that, and 2 with the other. Alright, get this equipped, so we got a decent body. They can't quite frog... No, they can frog punch for 2? 3. They have 3 frog. Ooh! Well, there goes that play. Losing our equipment means losing our... Oh. Okay. Not losing our equipment means we're still here in combat. This is a whole lot of awkward. That's not playable here, huh? Okay. Well... Win some, lose some, I suppose. We're taking 5. I'm gonna have to block the tree guard duo. They've got the... So they have a million options there. Ugh. Please. Well, it is what it is. So they get their fish. The thing is that they now have the ability to just kind of go around us. Like, even with the, with us at 6, they're able to just sort of sidestep any of these problems. I'm forced to make... I actually don't have any... I have to make bad blocks and then... Okay, alright, well... That will do it. They don't even need to give us the card. They just need to take it. Because they also get the ability from it, which lets them spread the damage. Okay. Yeah, I'm immediately just gonna go ahead and replace, Might. Oh. I don't want this to happen again. I want to put in that, I don't know what I want out. I hate to be, like, that reactive, but, like, I don't want to take that many losses to not having the fixing to make our deck function. I'm just gonna swap the might. That was my last ad. Alright, let's see how this works on a more sound-footed, hand. That looks fine. I'm a little worried about the curve here. Don't want to play Flowerfoot on 1. Okay, that fixes my curve worries pretty nicely. Stoat is a good 2, and Stoat takes the Bramble Guard Captain and the Roughshod duo effects pretty nicely. That's kill on sight. That's kill on sight. That's not sticking. This is an engine for the rabbits, and they're in the colors for it. That's very powerful. It's card draw, it's pump, it's there are a lot of cards that make that. Yeah, right there. There are a lot of cards that make that really powerful. I want to get... Bramble Guard Captain going. Alright. Lot of bodies. Flowerfoot Swordmaster with Manifold Mouse is gonna play really nice. Like, especially if they're killing off the Stoat. We're in a much better position. I think we're just gonna go ahead and Manifold Mice. You. Trample. Double strike. And... Anyway. Okay. Having the removal for the, for the host was very important there. They would have gotten the card draw and then hopefully gotten back out of this. Yeah, this is the both sides of Magic. What a nice, look at this. That's a cool one. Manifold of Offspring is just wild. You can push through so much damage. I ain't falling for that. What am I looking at here? Captain? Oh, I really like Captain. But, like... Captain hands off power really nicely. Feather draws and is like a good way of getting evasion going. I think that's kind of important. Like Steam Path is going to be fine trading with things, and having a couple pieces of removal doesn't feel bad. Maybe it's Banishing Light? Is that sounds wild, right? That sounds... I think we're on the draw. Okay. Grotto. Got them bones. Green, black. Those some nice ones. The Corpseberry Cultivator immediately gets out of hand. They're gonna have multiple pieces of food for it. Alright, so this is awkward, but I actually need to pass here. And you're gonna see why for a really dumb reason. Alright, so check this out. We're gonna land and we're gonna play that Corpseberry Cultivator. They're gonna go ahead and go to forage it, but because these are two different abilities, one is gonna trigger and then the other one will go on the stack after it resolves. So we're gonna get them to eat their food, and then we can take out the trash. That way we eat some of their resources and we get pieces, like we get that off the board. I like just getting like the food out of them. They seem to have a good stock of things. I'm greedy. Thornblade, we're taking 3 to that. That's fine. We're at full. Alright. But yeah, the idea there is that's very specifically, those are 2 different abilities. The reason it's 2 different abilities is that it functions with other forage cards, not just itself. So, this is a card we can hit with like a Sonar Strike. Okay, Baker's Bane, that's fine. Alright. This gets us... Okay, I get another cash grab, which is more food, and... probably... Ooh, Valley Micro. That's a... Wow. All 4 of these are incredible cards. That's a hard choice on all fronts. Damn. Okay, that gets them the Hivespine Wolverine, which is our likely Banishing Light target. Mostly because if we Banishing Light with anything else... No blocks, thanks. If we Banishing Light anything else, the Hivespine Wolverine, we're not going to be keeping it. Because they can, you know... That makes sense. You. How do we want to deal with this? I'm gonna push this in now so that we get the card and we get the damage. We're not under a threat of death, and I'd rather have this available to us, being able to push with Brazen Collector. I can... They still have 4 in hand, and... Ooh. Okay. Alright. Beza, how you doing? So Beza here, we're behind. Oh, this is actually a really awkward position for Beza. We're gonna... Okay. We're gonna gain 4 life. We're gonna draw a card. We're gonna not get 2 fish, because we're gonna be equal on creatures. We're gonna not get a treasure because we're ahead on lands. And I want to be ahead on lands because I want to play this. So this is a card and 4 life still? That's worth it. Yeah. Good card, too. Definitely willing to get the Nettle Guard down. So 3 in hand. We've missed a couple land drops. So we know that that's like gas going on there. Oh, what do? You do like a ton of things, right? Squirrels have menace. Make a squirrel. 1/1 on each squirrel if you sack a food. So your board just gets completely out of this world. Oh, okay. You just ate the food. That's not what you wanted to do. Okay. Yeah, that definitely was not the way I think you wanted that to go down. I think you wanted to forage with Camellia there. Basic and bound in. We have Sonar Strike to make that function. Nettle Guard can also bound in. That's a little more awkward, but like probably worth taking it. Okay. Opponent to 6. They can gain a lot of life. That's not a once per turn, huh? I'm thinking deeply about just having Nettle Guard eat their food. I'll be honest. This seems a little awkward, but I think we need to do it. They have cards in Yard to Forage, but they don't get the life gain, and they don't get the bodies. You know, so Camellia here has, like, when you sacrifice a food, make a squirrel. And that's the part I'm most worried about, is the part where all of a sudden the board gets, like, outrageous. They have a million cards to eat, but eating them doesn't, isn't the trigger for the team pump. Okay, so we get to Sonar Strike, kill off Force Camellia here. Oh! Okay. Really don't like the lifelink on that. Everything else on that I'm okay with, but the lifelink... Yeah, I don't know how we overcome that. And also, it's just barely enough to be attacking for lethal on... Like, I need to make blocks here. I can't get away with not blocking, which is how I would want to get over this. Like we do... They all have Menace, by the way, too. So I can't, like, block here, and keep my Trapper. Damn, this thing really pushed the bar... This over the bar. With that still on the board, that's even like here, like because everything has Menace, we're not going to be able to block enough. Yeah, we're just dead on board. Damn, I needed that to be not the life link on there. I think we might have been able to work around that if it wasn't that specific trick. That one's a very good trick, by the way. Even without the cost reduction, it's having a trick that is a blank removal plus you gain 5 life is just a house of an option, especially in a format where there's a lot of back and forth on the aggro. I might have been like needed the body, but at the same time, I really didn't want them to have the ability to make things go wider. This looks fine with the manifold mouse. I'm probably just fine playing Manifold Mouse on 2 here. Don't like that. That's a little too heavy on lands. The problem I have with this hand is that it's, like, one removal spell, and we're, like, just kind of toasted. We don't have anything against a piece of removal. Okay, getting something like that feels better. Let's get the aggro. Rough Shot Duo also gives us a good backup. Ooh, are they snail? They might be snail. Yeah, removal. All right. Here's the line. Every creature we draw is a double striking hasted threat. That's the question. I will decline that, thank you. All right. All right. Every creature we draw is that. So Harvester of Storms lets them draw off their top on otters or non-creatures. A lot of things basically draw off the top. Very good. This is wild. They're full 3-color if we're seeing things like this. We're asking effectively for you to have a removal spell, so they're going to have something. That land play, I think, was incorrect. I don't think they need to... like, what if they get a land off this? Okay, they got a removal spell. They're not able to play right. Also, wow. Alright. So this lets us play around the counter spell that eats birds. I'm kind of amazed at the choice to not keep a blocker back when every creature that I play is this. Right? Like... I do not think that they fully have had taken in the power of +1/+1 haste double strike on every creature I play for the rest of the game. Like, we were... That hand looked really bad because we had, you know, 7 lands, we had seen very few creatures. Removal 1-for-1ing with us worked nicely in that instance, but the fact that, like, every creature we played had the most ridiculous threat, you know? It's a good... That talent is quite good at letting us have, like, a way to close a game. This looks fine. It's a little land light, but, like, Feather can help us there. I'm gonna go ahead and have Flower Foot start things off here. A way to close the game, also a way to open the game. Yeah. We're gonna do this to open things up so that I'm certain to draw my land. This gets us a flying threat quickly. We're gonna be curving into... Oh. Strike Force, go! Alright, they, yikes. That was a 2-lander that did not pay off on their end, where, like, so they only had 1 play on their 2, as opposed to our 3 available, and didn't have any ways to draw out of that. Shrike Force, by the way, with Brambleguard Captain, was going to be attacking for 6. Things like Valley Rally to back it up. As we saw with our earlier games, these are things that happen in the world of Magic the Gathering. Sometimes your draws just don't agree with you in ways like that. It's the variance within the game that keeps the game interesting, IMO. Obviously, the high end of it, where we have the non-games, is sadder, but the fact that it exists at all is what keeps the game having a heavy amount of interest. Double strike. Our deck has so much double strike. We have, what, like 4 different double strike enablers? I don't... This is so good if we do draw into the white source, and it's fairly awful if we don't. We have 2 plays, which is more than I more than nothing. And like Mabel, oh god. Beza's the problem here. That card is a 4 that's off all of our color. With Take Out the Trash, I'm willing to try it. I know we're on the play, so we'll only get 2 shots rather than 3. On the play, okay, and we get the payoff immediately. So on the draw, I think I keep that one almost exclusive, like certainly, because we get 3 shots at it. I do a lot of this mental math where like that land draw was about a 46% on each. Yeah, you can have Beza. I don't care right now. We're not playing a game that's going to be that long with a hand like this. Like, our opponent needs removal now. And even, like, with it, we're asking some questions that are not easy on, like, what are you targeting if you've just got one piece? Is it Mabel? Is it Manifold? I want to say it's Manifold. But even that, I'm not 100% on. They're looking at it, too. I think they've got, like, a hunger. Yeah, okay. That's answerable by our deck, too. So, cool thing we've got, I can go Roughshod Duo. And we can Blacksmith Talent on the turn. Targeting Mabel. Let's get things rolling. Not enough to, you know, equip Crag Flame, but we can do, like, removal plus Crag Flame next turn. Like, I actually want them to be creatures rather than, I want them to be playing blockers rather than removal. I don't want them to be in the position where they can continue to 1-for-1 with our onboard. I want to be the one 1-for-1ing forward at them with Take Out the Trash. Okay, they don't have enough to contest this. Hey, MC Subtle. We are playing as you can see by our start here and some of our friends that we have around, a very rushed down mice deck that has enough of swords will rend you to pieces. We're currently 4-2? 3-2? 4-2? I think 4-2. Yeah, 4-2. We got off on the wrong foot on a game where we missed a color. But things have improved a lot since that. Mice and Swords, classics of Redwall, indeed. Long-standing Ambro 3, 4, 5, 6, Born in the Year. Have we drawn the bell? We have. And to answer your question immediately, the bell makes this hand so much better. We use the bell to go get our red, and then we can Bravekin Duo plus... So, you know, and then we can get the Shrike Force. Shrike Force, by the way, here with our activation, looking deadly. We got cash? Okay, we got weaving. Alright. So, this Shrike Force is a card that is requesting, removal. Shrike Force Delta is in, asking for a removal spell. Okay, they have it. Damn, Hunter's Talent... That's incredible, because they get the expend on that. That looks quite good for them. Go ahead and draw my card here. Hunter's Talent is a dangerous card, too. I want to get the Brazen Collector down. This one is a lot more liable to be able to attack. The red gives it this, or maybe gets us the head of the homestead next turn. Hunter's Talent, like, is on its own, like, a bite for 2, and that's playable. That's more than playable. That's very good. And then on top of it, it's Trample, Pump, and Card Draw all in one card, which makes it an incredible piece of technology. Okay, they got the ramp. This fits in their deck really nicely because they have ways to sack it. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to get the Blacksmith Talent going, so that I can get down head of the homestead as bodies. So if I go, I could pump Brazen Collector, or I could equip an attack. We also could, like, Mousetrap. Let's get this going. Brave can do a sorcery speed, so I can't use that mana on it, but this gets, like, the ramp going out of it, and, like, we can push the aggression on it. If they have ways to sack that food, that's best for them. They missed a land drop, so that was off the top, right? No. Yeah, they missed a land drop last turn. They got the land off of the Heaped Harvest. Oh, damn. Okay, that's a 4/4. Beatable. Okay, this does not count for expend, so the duo is not a 3/3, but it does give +1 in trample. Okay. I'm looking at ways to kill our opponent. Things I love to say aloud, you know? The blurb is still Affinity. Okay. So we're going to take some lumps back here, but I believe we're in the advantageous position. So that forage is eating the food that ramps. Pretty easy. Because that food that ramps, ramps even if it's not eaten as food. You know. I want them to attack with the 3-tree Root Reaver. I don't know if we're going to get that out of them here, but it's what I want. I'm not doing anything with this. I'm just making them a little scared, as it were. We're not quite in killing them territory, but we're close. I really want to get this head of the homestead out. That's the card I want on the board because it, like, it doesn't contest everything because these all have trample, but, like, it oh, that's... Oof. Okay. That makes things a lot more awkward with the edict to eat that there. We're not toast, but we're close. 2 cards in hand. That... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Alright, this is draw a million cards. Look at top... This is like top 8, pick 4. Go to 9. Okay, they have correctly recognized that they can't go in for the kill there. Damn, that treetop sentry is enough to save their life. We could kill this turn without that. Ah, dang. Okay, I mean... Let's see what we draw off the top. Okay. They have enough to crack that last food. I think I'm dead here. I think they kill me on this turn. They just drew 4 cards. Are going to untap with, like, 1,000 mana and a recursion. I think we're dead, but, like, if we stay alive, we might be able to get through this. But that picks up any corpse variance, the only... So there's Forager. That picks up any permanent. Yeah, the Honored Dray Leader is... It has Trample, by the way, just as a... Okay. I have to think here. 8, 6. They go trample on duo. I block. I go to 2. I block. I go to... Yeah, okay. I think we let them go to attacks here. The Honored Dray Leader and the Baker's Bane duo are enough to... force weird blocks. I thought about blowing that up before combat, but then I don't have enough blockers to stop an all-out. Like, they can just kill me by throwing everything at me. This way... we still have outs. I want to draw Manifold Mouse. I want to draw... removal. Because, like, the Treetop Sentries are, like... the problem causer right now. This is the out. Yeah, and that's not enough. We can't force anything through. They have enough food to eat. on this as well. We needed to draw a removal spell for Treetop Sentry, which we could have killed if we had that available. But like the removal spells for Treetop Sentry in our deck are also like pretty, like we can't draw like take out the trash. It has too much toughness. The actual killer here, at the end of the day, is well, you know, there are many pieces to the puzzle, many things that killed us. The amount of they got 4 lands off that food. Really love the like. This food I'm not impressed with in most decks, but in this specific style where like they have like forage here, like forage here, all of a sudden it becomes a way for them to have a obscene amount of mana at a point in the game where like, you know, we're on 5 or 6, they're on 10, which means that their cards like Forager, their cards like Cash Grab, and a lot of their like food mean they're able to just keep grinding us out. We needed to take the turn that really, like, obviously being able to Hunter's Talent down our bird was a killer turn, but us not being able to take advantage of the Stargaze was, I think, the killer. I think no. When Mouse Trapper died, that's where we lost. I wanted to leave that. Okay, that's evaluating the choices that were made over the course of that game. It's Mousetrap. Anyway, with all that said, we still ended up at a very nice 4-3 that gets us back our entry plus some packs. Like, I felt quite confident in this. This thing, I think, could go a little further. Really, again, we've seen this before, but I'm really impressed with the power of Blacksmith Talent. This card, like, gives you your, I keep calling them heroic, the Valiant, but not heroic, Valiant triggers. It gives you those every turn. It gives you, like, passable pump that can change combat, and it gives you a long-term goal where, like, if you're in a game where you're kind of flooded out, this is something that can keep you in it because of how powerful double strike haste +1/+1 is to hand out. I won't say we never saw Dragonhawk, but also feels like most of the talents are deceptively powerful. The trick with that is that the talents have so much going on. A card that's as varied and modal and deep as something like this brings a lot to the table. Some of them are playable on just flat, you know, their first effect, level 1. More so. Blacksmith Talent, if it just was level 1, would be pretty mediocre, whereas Hunters would be, you'd still be like very happy for it, and things like Innkeepers are like, Innkeepers is a card that's seeing a lot of like standard bits, both as a pump spell and as a other parts of it. Yeah, they fit the curve early as well. There's some that are a little too niche for limited play. IMO. Builders takes a lot of work to be more than an 0-4 wall. If it is more than an 0-4 wall and you have something for it, like, that's great, but it's in a color that isn't, like, in Builder's Talent wants a non-creature, non-land, like, permanence, and, like, there's no real setup in this set that's going for that. Should have found a way to put Might of the Meek in here. Love this card. Anyway. Let's grab our packs. Yeah, Sunshower Druid, really like this card for both what it represents in the bounce deck and also just for like a strong thing on one that lets you, probably on three more so, much like Bravekin Duo, letting you trade in ways that you probably wouldn't, or be aggressive in ways that you normally wouldn't. Ruthless Negotiation's one of my favorite arts. I like this one a lot. Again, much like when we were doing the Master Duel client earlier last weekend, I'd love to be able to look closer at some of these. Love you, Mockingbird. Makes the bird noise and the bard noise at the same time. This card's very sweet as a clone. Clone that gains flying is a lot and like scalable in cost. This is one of the talents that I was talking about that I feel is a bit more niche, a bit more narrow, because the recursion and the mill, like, and the food are all asking you to be like. This isn't a card that you're likely going to be playing. Like this will work really well in our squirrels setup because of the food tokens, the recursion, the mill, but. You know, if you're in like a lizard's red-black, this loses a lot of its luster. Like, it makes sense, again, like, it can make sense in other things, especially the mill, like, if you're, like, the, ability to roll this, like, mill yourself for threshold and get things down there for that. But I just like this one asks you to be doing more than Hunter's Talent. Hunter's Talent asks you to be playing the game of Magic. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Like this one, like you're not like playing this and like not doing. You kind of have to be doing more than just that. We passed this up, and I was a little sad. I really liked the idea of this barterer. Letting you like reshuffle, like redraw your hand as you keep expending to redraw to expend to redraw. Like you draw 2 cards on tap, have 3, and then you play all your cards, which is 4 mana, and then you draw all your cards. And I really want to play with this. Cruel Claw's Heist is a card I think is a the record is more. Bombs? Rope? Hunters is, I assume you mean Innkeepers, right? Hunters is the uncommon one. Hunters is the fight +1 power draw, whereas Innkeepers is the Luminarch. I keep saying Luminarch Ascension, Luminarch Aspirant Ward doubling season. I don't know. I feel like this at double black is almost too much, too expensive. I don't know how, like, It is fun to be able to full steal it. Vren. Rats. But yeah, like if I just go to like collection, there's a button for that. And we go. Yeah, Hunters is the uncommon. Test of Talents. You're not the card we're after. Bloomburrow. Yeah, because there's 2 in every color, 1 at uncommon and 1 at rare. I don't know that I've ever seen this one. This is a card that, like, talk about at its early, like, it's you know, I was talking about how, like, things will need to be like, not need, but, like, Hunter's Talent is playable on its face without anything else, and that makes it great. Storm Chases is kind of like that, and like the bonuses are really expensive. The Otter deck, I am sad, does not feel as cohesive in this set as I want it to be. I really love the Otters. Like are incredible in their art and flavor and such, but like they don't match up as well in limited to everything else. Like they want one of the things that I think like does a lot to them is a lot of the spells that they're going to be wanting are spells every deck wants. Like, you know, the removal spells that I want to be recurring like with this are spells that every deck that's playing those colors is picking, not just like specifically Otter deck. So you're fighting for take out the trash, you're fighting for bits like that. Like that's a big bit on it, and also we're not in a world where like the prowess style stuff has Jeskai levels of support. Also, I think blue is just not as deep a color, owing to the way it's kind of stretched. So, yeah, Otters need to jump through a bunch of hoops to get on par with the green creature. But yeah, they do have some strong, like, if it comes together with some of the specific Otter cards, it could be a very wild deck. It's not that it's unplayable. Nothing's unplayable like that, but it's asking for a higher bar than like Squirrels, which can get by on a lot of the powerful green and black cards at common and uncommon. The Forager, for instance. These have this like split frame like this, where we remove the border. Yeah, Innkeepers is a card I've heard people talking about both as like a tool for that +1/+1 counter, and also it has a combo kill. This plus Vraska's an auto win. I wonder how long that will last. Like 2-card instant win combos are not always where standard level play usually wants to be. You know, having a not quite Splinter Twin situation. It also doesn't hurt that like Innkeeper's talent is fine without the level 3. Like it'll be good aggressively. But yeah, Builders wants non-creature, non-land permanents. Think it's allowed because that mole looks very that look. I mean, they got the look at the is that Fountain Port in the back? That's. So one of the things that classes have going on that I like classes and sagas both get to benefit from like this really unique tall art style. Oh look, they even have the tool. So if you take a look at the God, I tried to zoom in on that. If you take a look at the class here, you see that the bottom the art like kind of fades into the top, but also at the bottom there's like the quill and the fountain, you know, the ink and pen. We have like these weapons down here for hunters. Like they each have their little tools down there. That's cute. The Gossip's talent, which has the T. Yeah. Anyway, we got a bit of a later start today, so I'm not going to be able to fit in a second one tonight. That's all right. I think we had a good one just on its own. So, happy with that. Cool thing we do have coming up, and this is something, like, I'm always up and down on, and more, like, I've been up on it more as time has gone, but still have problems with some of the design. We have alchemy cards coming up for Bloomburrow. I was pretty the ones that came out in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I was a fan of the alchemy bits in that for specifically how they like got to show off like pieces of the story that weren't always in things. And that's something I'm hopeful with Bloomburrow, is that we get some more fun creatures and fun arts. Whereas, like, I know the like heist stuff within alchemy. I don't know how to find the alchemy cards, I'll be honest. Alchemy Junction. Okay, it's its own thing. The heist mechanic I know has been like one that's like wildly swingy, especially in Brawl. But like I really like having things like Silent Extraction, Cathartic Operation, Weave the Nightmare in here, so that we get more hitting our detective with a pipe, bits like that. So I'm hopeful like that, like there'll be things in the alchemy setup for a Bloomburrow that'll be fun animal stuff as well. Discard changes, please. Anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank y'all for joining. Thanks for being here. If you want to catch more, you can always follow us when we're live. You know, I sub. But if you're just here having a good time, A+, can't ask for more. Upcoming stuff tomorrow is Dragon Warrior Wednesday. We might be reaching the end of Dragon Quest VI. Obviously, there's Games Pass 3 have had post-game, so we're going to be going more than just 1 week. But it definitely feels like we're going to be, like, hitting credits on 6 next week. I'd be surprised if we didn't at the rate we're going at. But yeah, and then Slay the Spire mods will be back on Friday. They've been off for a little while just due to Fridays being an in-demand day in Bloomburrow. But they'll be back. I think I have a Limbus Company / Library of Ruina / Lobotomy Corp one. I don't know which of those three, but that bubble that's near the top of the list, along with like there's some newer ones we've looked at as well, so that I've got on the list. So anyway, that's all for coming up. Thank you all for joining. Good night, everybody.